Hi, you're watching NewsMobile and I am Kanchan Jeswani. We have started our live video and we will be joined with our team members, Abhit, who is reaching Pragati Maidan, Bharat Mandapam, and our editor-in-chief and founder of NewsMobile, Saurabh Shukla. He is also joined. And I would want to have and there is a wave all together that you see all around the national capital, how beautifully it is decorated, the streets.
Kanchan,
Hi, Mr. Shukla.
thank
Good
you,
to have
Kanchan.
you with us for our audience
Good to
on
be on the
News
show,
Mobile.
Kanchan, and it's a big day. As you were talking earlier, world leaders arriving in Delhi, just a short distance away from us at the Bharat Mandapam. They will be joining Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a big leadership summit tomorrow and day after. And today, the US President Joe Biden will be arriving this evening and will have a private one-on-one meeting and a dinner that the Prime Minister is hosting for him. So big day. And I would say for India's diplomacy, this is one of the biggest diplomatic events which will etch a new paradigm for India on the global arena. जैसे कहते हैं कंचन, जैसे हम पहले भी बात कर रहे थे कि पूरे विश्व में जो इंडिया का एक रोल है as a consensus builder, as a peacemaker, वो दोबारा से एच आउट होगा इस G20 लीडरशिप समिट से जो दिल्ली में हो रही है. कंचन.
Definitely, Saurabh, and also we are seeing the security that has been arranged. We saw the drills, the security drills on Meridian. We have seen an entire new picture of national capital, which we are seeing after many ages to be, talking like that. I would want to know that how the countries that are participating in G20, 19 countries and European Union, there have been other leaders, other countries also who have been invited here as a guest. How big this is, how do you see this as an opportunity for India? Because you have seen the diplomacy
Yes.
of India, you have closely covered it. How do you see that, and how is it going to impact India
Kanchan, that's a quick
collectively
question, and I've been talking to a lot of ambassadors here, of different G20 countries who have gathered here. They tell me one thing, that India has done a phenomenal work in hosting this G20 leadership summit, and also a series of meetings. Over 200 meetings were held, and as you know, across the country. You also, did an interview like I did with the G20 coordinator, Mr. Pardeshi, and the way they conducted the meeting in Kashmir, despite the fact that some of the countries had an apprehension about security, they made sure everything went down smoothly. And now I can tell you from the welcome. Yesterday we saw, the IMF chief. Virtually, the moment she landed at the Delhi airport, she started dancing with the dancers who welcomed her. So, that's a spirit. That's a spirit of a new India, of a
That's the culture
India
of
that
our
is coming
country.
out. And obviously, security, you spoke about security. India has not turned, I would say no stone has been unturned on that, by making sure this is foolproof security, also making sure that the world leaders feel secure, because at the end of the day, this is the gathering of some of the biggest world leaders who are in Delhi. This is India's moment. This is, a matter of pride, I would say, for every Indian that we are hosting this big event, and we should all celebrate this moment, because, as I said, this is not, yeah.
Definitely, sort of. Also, would I like to have your views on what do you think about the joint declaration? Because there have been stories and reports, even the international media is quoting that will India will become the first country of hosting G20 which does not declare the joint declaration, or do you think that the war politics have gone way and beyond, and India is trying its effort best that war politics should stay at the back and there should be other things that they have planned for so long to put on the
First
forefront?
thing, I want to clarify that this is not the first time that there have been differences on negotiating a joint statement. When you negotiate a joint statement at any big global meeting, there are always point of differences. One of the biggest differences on the wording relating to the Ukraine invasion. Obviously, China and Russia want a different kind of a wording than the Western countries would want. India, and I know I was talking to one of the negotiators, they have been working very hard to try to create a consensus. In the end, what happens, we have to wait and see. I don't want to prejudge the outcome, but this is not the first time that this task. So anybody who says that this is unique to India's presidency or the G20 Delhi Summit, that's not the case. The biggest, yeah.
Saurabh, also we have somebody asking us question, and NewsMobile
Yes.
live platform is open for people to ask us question with our editor-in-chief and founder. Somebody has asked me that what are your views on Russian and Chinese president absence? Also, Saurabh, I would want you to throw light on that this G20 is national pride, it's nation pride. Do we need to give that kind of importance to Chinese president's absence? Do we really
I
need
want
to
to
give
thank
that
our
kind of
viewer who
importance?
has asked this question, because I was going to talk about it. It's a very, very relevant question. My answer is that, this is the biggest diplomatic party in town. Either you be a part of it or you miss it out. I'm not trivializing by calling it a party. It's a very, very important event for the world to talk about the biggest challenges that the world faces today. So if the Chinese president decides to send his prime minister instead, and he wants to send a message not only to India, but to the entire world, some of the countries from Africa, that they don't care about some of these issues. So they are missing out. About Mr. Putin, he did call the prime minister and tell him, because as you know, that there is a warrant against him and he's not traveling out of Russia, but they're sending the foreign minister of Russia, and Prime Minister of India understood his position. So that explains the Russian position. But I can tell you, the Chinese, they have played politics before G20 by putting Arunachal on the official map of China. And they did that with some of the countries on South China Sea.
Yes.
If you recall, yesterday, Prime Minister Modi did not mince any word. And this is where India's muscular diplomacy is coming to the fore, that we will not bow down by any Chinese bullying on this, that by not attending, you're sending a message that, oh, I want to lower. See, because Xi Jinping is the supreme leader in China. The prime minister is a notional leader. So they are trying to say that, listen, for us, the Delhi summit does not really matter. India does not matter. And we want to undermine it. But let me say it, that the countries, the other member countries realize it. I'll give you an example. See the case of US. Joe Biden skipped the ASEAN summit and is coming to Delhi. That attaches a special relationship, the special value that they know that this summit is going to bring. America is the biggest, global power in the world. He's doing it, and India, and he threw a red carpet welcome for the Prime Minister when he was there in Washington D.C. I was there at White House, so I can tell you that today the world realizes that this is about setting a new international order, which is equitable, which finds problems, and India can today be the consensus builder. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had put a lot of personal chemistry on organizing this meeting. He sent out a message, said that it has to be inclusive.
Definitely. Yeah. And Saurabh, what because you have been traveling to US, you cover stories from US for NewsMobile, from India as well. I want you to send a message to our viewers that and tell them that how Delhi traffic police has kept on releasing the advisories for people to stay at home and enjoy and be a part of G20 Summit by being at home and
I
watching
would
it
say,
from
Kanchan,
television.
people, all the people who are watching us and your friends and family, watch fact-checked news, authentic news from NewsMobile. In fact, I'm glad you talked about the traffic police arrangements. We debunked a fake news that was going viral, that the entire Delhi has been shut. That's not the case. Only the summit venue, that is Bharat Mandapam, Pragati Maidan, and the nearby places and the routes have been sanitized because of the fact there is a security requirement. We don't want, and the reason why, and one of the, I was talking to a member of the organizing committee that why did you shut down offices, schools? The thing is that they didn't want people to get inconvenience because of the roads being shut, because there is no choice. Because when these leaders travel from from the airport to the hotel, within the city, the police has a requirement to stop traffic. They didn't want people to get stuck. That's the reason why these curbs have been taken. And I think people should feel proud that this big event is happening in India. It's every Indian's event. It's not the government's event or not
Yes.
anybody else's event, but you and me and every Indian should feel proud that the G20 Leader Summit is happening, which will bring India on the global map even further.
Like you were telling
बिल्कुल
this to me yesterday,
बिल्कुल
जनता
जनता
का
का G20 और
right?
जनता के हमारे हर नागरिक को इस बात का गर्व होना चाहिए कि हमारे यहाँ ये G20 समिट हो रही है और भारत का वर्चस्व जो है, चाहे वो फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन में हो, चाहे वो यूपीआई को वर्ल्ड मैप पे लाना हो, चाहे वो क्लाइमेट चेंज में हो। आपको पता है कि इतनी बड़ी पोल्यूशन की त्रासदी से हम लोग गुजर रहे हैं, तो ये सबका एक जो सोल्यूशन है इस समिट से आ सकता है और भारत एक इसमें एक नया मार्गदर्शक बन के उभर सकता है। ये एक बड़ा मैसेज जो G20 समिट से जाएगा। कंचन,
All right. Thank you, Saurabh, for joining us and giving us detailed insight on G20 Summit. Also, I'll be telling that I'll coming live again. Our team has already is on its way to reach Bharat Mandapam. We will be live any moment as the team reaches. Stay tuned with us on Instagram and Facebook for more such updates. Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you, everyone.